So on behalf of myself and Karen Primor-Cohen, the CEO of Ramot, that co-chair with me the ITTN organization, thank you for coming. Unfortunately, Karen got really sick yesterday, so she couldn't come, and we'll send her our blessing for good health as quickly as possible. So I'll take the burden of introducing the very exciting afternoon that we have today. So I'll just skip this, and I want to share with you some of the challenges that we have when we do technology transfer. I will not talk today about numbers. I will not talk about statistics. You will hear this. You heard this morning. You will hear more tomorrow. I want to share with you what we have in our guts, what really is hurting us or challenging us in our daily life as a technology transfer companies. And I assume that most of the people here from ITTN, from the Israeli Technology Transfer Organization, will agree with me about this. So although tech transfer is considered a very big success in Israel, we do have some really not easy challenges that we need to cope in our daily life. The first one is the fact that we are really acting as translators. We translate between two different ecosystems: the academic ecosystem, the academic language, and the industrial language. And these are two totally different languages that they speak. I tend to compare this to translating from English to Chinese and vice versa. The second challenge that we cope is the need to manage conflicts from really day or even minute zero of dealing with a new idea. Because from the first minute an idea is born and we realize we can transfer it or translate it to a product or to viable product, hopefully in the future, in this first minute, many conflicts are born and we need to manage them. It will be a conflict between the inventor and maybe the other inventors. It will be a conflict between the inventors and their institution. It will be the conflict between the inventors and the founders of the company, and later between the founders of the company and the investors of the company, and later on with the shareholders of the company, and so on and on. We don't need to fear from this because we manage conflicts in our daily life every day with our kids, with our partners, with our co-workers. The thing is not to ignore conflicts, but to be aware and to manage them in the right way. And if we put it in different words, we can say that academia are from Mars and companies are from Venus. And I'll give you a few examples. So as a TTO officer, I'm sitting in my chair, comfortable or less comfortable in the office, and I talk with these two clients that I have, the inventors from the academia and the entrepreneurs and the business people from the companies. And now they come and speak to me, but as I said, they talk totally different languages. So the scientist will come being sure that she or he are having the great new idea, the real cure for cancer. But when I disclose this to the business partner, they will think something totally different about competition, about all the challenges they will see along the way. When visioning what will happen a day after signing the agreement, again, these are two different cultures and ecosystems. The scientist is sure that he or she will take control, will be able to tell the CEO what to do, and of course will stay at the laboratory and still keep their job at the university or the hospital. But the company, of course, looks at it in a totally different way. and they want to have the control on the technology one day after signing the agreement. And the last example, and that's maybe my favorite phrase or sentence that I hear from the scientists: what's the problem to raise money? This is the great idea ever, right? And when we pitch the technology to the entrepreneurs that need to raise this money, the story, of course, is totally different. They are sure that with everything that we ask, it will be very hard to raise money. So this is our daily life, managing these conflicts day by day. About 6 years ago, I joined the 804 network. That's the Israel Health Tech network. And discussing these issues, the stories or the problems I just described were on the table and were discussed all the time. And this is where I decided to try and do something in order maybe to bring this ecosystem of worlds a little closer and make sure that we do the translation in the best way we can. And the best way we can is to educate each party what the other party is looking for, what the other party needs are, and to be knowledgeable about what is a licensing agreement. So we teamed together the Israeli Innovation Authority, 8400, and Israeli Technology Transfer Network, ITTN. And the idea was to write a licensing playbook that will be a tool for entrepreneurs, for investors, for first-comers or second-comers to this complicated world, for better understanding of what a licensing transaction is and how licensing agreement looks like. So I approached Advocate Yael Baratz that volunteered to help. She's here in the audience and will be leading our second workshop today about licensing agreements. She had no idea how much work is going to be. Also, I didn't. So it took us almost 5 years. And I think that if we compare it to the longest pregnancy in nature, I think it's the pregnancy of the elephant. So 2 or 3 baby elephants could be born in the time that we worked on this playbook. And of course, we had an advisory committee that the people that volunteered to look at the draft, to send us their remarks, because it was very important for us that this playbook will be a joint effort of people from the industry, from VCs, from the technology transfer organizations. And of course, you can scan the QR code and get it directly to your iPhone. It will also be published in the next few weeks. Right now, when you scan it, you'll see only the English version, but the Hebrew version will be ready, I think, in few weeks with the help and the funding of the Israeli the IIA, Israel Innovation Authority. And the playbook, in short, has 5 main sections. It covers all the sections and all the issues that are mentioned and are there in a licensing agreement. And one by one, you can read. It's not a draft for negotiation. It's not a draft to come and say, these are my terms. This is an educational a manuscript for you to read and understand what each section means and what are the important issues for the academia meaning universities and hospitals, and what are the main issues that are important for the industry and for future investors. And I think that by reading it, being more educative, it will be easier for all of us to know what the other side, what are the needs of the other side. And this will allow us to do better business together. And that's the idea of this booklet and also of this session. So thank you very much.